Let's get right to the new details emerging tonight about the gunman and how he carried out that attack last night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Eyewitness News reporter Elena Gomez has the latest, including more from the president on the moment the Secret Service rushed in.
Tonight, President Trump is sharing more details about the terrifying moments after a gunman opened fire at last night's White House Correspondents' Dinner in an interview with 60 Minutes.
I wanted to see what was going on. And by that time, we started to realize maybe it was a bad problem, different kind of a problem, bad one, and different than what would be normal noise from a ballroom, which you hear all the time.
Security cameras show the moment the alleged gunman quickly runs past a security checkpoint. Inside the ballroom, federal agents rush to protect the president. The president sharing with 60 Minutes that he was told to drop down, and then when he was able to, he went into a hold room. He applauded agents for their quick work.
When you look at it on tape, it's almost like a blur. Right. But it was amazing because as soon as they saw that, you could see them draw their guns. They were so professional, aimed their guns, and then they took them down immediately.
The gunman has been identified as 31-year-old Cole Allen from Torrance. New tonight, we're learning that authorities believe that Allen left his hotel room with a duffel bag full of weapons and used a stairwell to avoid being seen. Once near the event, he began sprinting into the space before he was tackled by Secret Service after a brief moment of gunfire.
It is clear, based upon what we know so far, that this individual was intent on doing as much harm and as much damage as he could.
While the White House Correspondents' Dinner was canceled after the incident, the president hopes to reschedule the event in the next few weeks. The suspect, Cole Allen, will be arraigned tomorrow in federal court in Washington, D.C. Allen is being charged with using a firearm during a crime of violence and assault on a federal officer using a dangerous weapon. Additional charges could follow. In the studio, Elena Gomez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Investigators are now searching for more insight into what may have motivated this attack.
Allen's family home in Torrance has been the center of this investigation on the West Coast. Eyewitness News reporter Madison Weil continues our team coverage from there. Madison, a rather eventful 24 hours for the neighborhood.
Yeah, Jory and Liz, we all know what this looked like last night. Federal investigators surrounding the home just behind us. We've been out here speaking with neighbors, stunned as we learn more about Allen's past. A new photo tonight showing Cole Allen just moments after he was taken into custody. The 31-year-old Caltech engineering graduate and college prep tutor turned accused gunman. Just hours after the shooting, federal agents storming Allen's family home in Torrance, serving a search warrant overnight. Sources say Allen allegedly sent a message to his family before the attack. It included grievances against the president and his administration. They say it expressed a willingness to kill from the highest ranking to the lowest. Neighbors who know Allen's family personally telling ABC 7 it's all hard to believe.
It's really surprising, really shocking. I'm sad for his family. You know, his parents are good people.
A group of high school students who were tutored by Allen shared a statement describing him as generally very intelligent and normal and friendly, which we caught a glimpse of back in 2017. Here in an eyewitness exclusive, we hear from a man appearing to be Allen during his time as a student at Caltech.
The idea with this is to prevent it from moving at all.
Speaking at an aging conference showcasing a new design to make wheelchairs safer.
The wheelchair brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't actually lock the chair to the ground.
According to Allen's LinkedIn profile, he was working for C2 Education, a private company that preps students for college entrance exams. This post showing C2 named him Teacher of the Month in December of 2024. The post has since been taken down. The company releasing a statement reading in part, "We were shocked to hear the news of the horrifying incident that transpired at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We are cooperating fully with law enforcement to assist them in their investigation. Violence of any kind is never the answer." And Jory and Liz, the Associated Press reporting tonight that Allen's sister told investigators he legally bought several guns here in California. He was keeping them at the home just behind us without their parents knowing. We're live in Torrance tonight. Madison Weil, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Madison, thank you. This is the third incident involving a gunman and President Trump in the last 2 years. And there are once again questions about whether the Secret Service could have done more. Some attendees say they made it well inside the Washington Hilton without anyone checking their ID or their tickets to the event. But a former Secret Service agent says security worked exactly the way it was supposed to and doesn't believe President Trump was ever in any imminent danger.
The officers and the agents have literally split seconds to determine if this guy is a threat or not. They may not have been able to determine if he was a threat outside of just the speed in which he was moving, if he had a weapon, if he didn't have a weapon. And so, again, I think that the plan worked. The concentric layers of security worked last night.
Matranga did say it should not have been announced so far in advance that the president was planning to attend the dinner. The Washington Hilton was also where a would-be assassin shot and wounded President Reagan in 1981. Stay with Eyewitness News for the latest on the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and the suspected shooter's local ties. We'll also push out any major updates in this story to our ABC 7 Los Angeles app.